Hey Russell fam, in today's video I'm going to talk about the 5 habits that changed our homeschool. Be back in just a second. Hi, my name is Becky and this is Russell's Loving Life. If you are new to our channel, welcome. We are so glad you are here. Please consider subscribing and clicking that little bell notification down in the bottom. We also have a blog, which is russellslovinglife.com. If you are returning Russell fam, we are so glad you are back. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the 5 habits or the 5 things that changed our homeschool. And I am not an expert by any means. I have been homeschooling since 2012. I'm a homeschooling mom of 2. And these are just the 5 things that I have learned over the years that work for my family. And I just want to put them out there for maybe you to try them, and they may work for your family. The first habit or the first thing that has helped us is have a homeschool routine. We don't necessarily have a homeschool schedule that we stick to. Say we do read aloud from 8 to 8:30 or something like that. We don't necessarily stick to a schedule, but we have a routine that works best for our family. And what that is when we get up in the morning, Becca typically gets up before Bailey does, and Becca gets up, I fix her breakfast, and we work on one-on-one things with her that I need to work on. Her reading, her spelling, things like that, because she's going into 1st grade, and so she has to have the more one-on-one time than Bailey does. So it helps a lot that I work on that with her while he's sleeping. And then he'll wake up, and then she can work independently while I'm fixing his breakfast. Or sometimes he doesn't even eat breakfast. He's not really a breakfast person. I'm not either. I typically don't eat anything until about 10:30. Now once Bailey's up and he's eating breakfast or not eating breakfast, but he's awake enough, I start working with him on the stuff that I need to focus on with him, my guidance on. And I lay everything out for him and show him what he has to do, you know, like his grammar, his spelling, and that type stuff that I have to work with him on. And then we move into our family subjects where we do our Bible, our history, our science. And after we've done that, then Becca goes and plays with her dolls, her Legos, puts puzzles together, something that she can work on by herself. And then Bailey typically works independently on something, and I start doing my typical day of either getting lunch ready because it's about lunchtime that day, cleaning the kitchen, working on some of my chores that I work on that day. So having a routine works well for us. The second thing, or the second habit that works well for our family, is an open and go curriculum or a boxed curriculum. I've added a few things to it here and there, but having my planner already planned out for me where I don't have to sit down and say, okay, what am I working on today? Or what do I have to do? Or what needs to be done? Or I didn't plan anything. Having the open and go curriculum works best for our family. I sit down with the kids, and here we go. We start in on our science. We start in on our Bible. We start in on our history. And I don't have to work on planning what I'm going to do. It is there for me. I use my Father's World. I have used it since Bailey was in kindergarten, and he will be in 6th grade in the fall, and I still will be using my Father's World, and I love it. I have added Saxon Math to it, and I have added Growing with Grammar for Bailey, and Becca will also start using Growing with Grammar in 1st grade this fall. The third habit, or the third thing that works well for our family, is to teach as many subjects together as a family that I can. Now, with there being a 5-year age difference, you can't teach every subject at the same time. You know, their spelling and their grammar and their math. Those are things that you can't teach at the same time. But being able to teach them the same history, the same science, the same Bible lessons, the same read alouds, all of that has helped my family dramatically. It takes the stress off of me of having to teach different subjects, different levels to two different kids. Sorry, can't talk. But doing that has helped me so much. So I highly encourage. There are a lot of curriculums out there. It doesn't have to be My Father's World, but I know Gather Around is another curriculum that works well for teaching multiple age groups, but teach as many subjects as you can together as a family, and then you get to spend that great family time together. So you're not rushing, you're not in a hurry. You just get to enjoy that family time. The fourth thing or habit that has changed our homeschool is being flexible. Now, I do a 4-day homeschool week, and that works best for us. So if I have a doctor's appointment, or the kids have doctor's appointments, or there's dental appointments, or there's field trips we want to do, we have that day already planned in our schedule so we can be flexible. I'm not stressing. I'm not freaking out going, oh, I've got to get all this done. I don't. Just be flexible. And, if we don't finish everything in one day, that's fine too. We just move it over to the next day. Just be flexible. And that has made the biggest difference in our homeschool. That has changed everything. We're not stressed. We're not freaking out that we didn't get something done. It's the flexibility is great. It has changed our homeschool. So I highly recommend trying to figure out a way to make flexibility work for your family, because it drastically changed our homeschool. And finally, the fifth thing, or the fifth habit that has changed our homeschool, is not over planning, not over scheduling. And I'm not talking about just the core subjects or our homeschool. I'm talking about my day. I'm not rushed to tons of extracurricular activities. I don't have a ton of house chores that I have to do. Just not planning so much in one day has helped. I don't have to rush through a lesson that we're working on. I'm not getting aggravated. The kids aren't aggravated because I'm like, hurry up, you got to get done. We've got to be somewhere. We've got to get it done. We don't do that anymore. We don't over plan. And that's one thing that I think will help you in your homeschool, is not over planning your schoolwork, your housework, your extracurricular activities. Just do a little bit. Figure out what works best for your family and what time you have, and just plan for that. And so, it kind of goes into being flexible. If you know that you've got a busy day that day of doing something, then don't do all of your homeschool lessons that day. Move it to another day where you're not cramming everything in and you're not in a hurry. So the fifth thing is, do not over plan. I hope you have found this video to be helpful, to be informative. And remember, not everybody's homeschool looks the same. Every family is different, every child is different. So what works for my family may not work for yours. But I like doing these videos to tell you what works for my family. So if you're struggling and you're trying to find ideas and trying to figure out what may work for your family, that's what this video is for. It is there to give you some ideas of what may work well for your family. Try them, try one, try all 5. It doesn't matter. Just figure out what works for your family, what works for your children, and that will make homeschooling so much better. As always, remember to be kind, be careful, be considerate, and have a great day. Bye.